Hi guys, it's the blogger here from dearblogger.org, and I want to welcome you back to part 2 of how to start a blog and make real money. In part 1, which you can find a link to in the comments, you will learn how to set up a domain name and web hosting and how to install WordPress, how to do it all really cheaply and inexpensively, and and we even covered a bunch of the little issues that can come up along the way. So make sure to check that out if you haven't. And in this tutorial, we're going to set up the blog that we made in part 1 so it looks just like this one. We're going to make it look exactly like this with everything you see here, like a navigation menu and an image slider and some cool blog posts that show the rich snippet on the homepage, and even an email subscription form. Well, actually, of course we are. That's one of the components that'll help us earn good money. So everything you see here, like a like box and a fun little Google Plus badge. And we're going to learn how to do it all in WordPress, the exact same content management system, or CMS, used by amazing brands and celebrities and huge companies today. Alright, so this is what we have so far, and if you're ready, so am I, and let's get started. The first thing will be to put some blog posts on the homepage, because once we do that, you'll really see how the rest of the blog comes together. Okay, cool, so let's log in to our new blog. The login link will always be your domain name /WP admin. There we go. And I'm realizing already that I forgot my password, so a little roadblock already. It's because the password you get right away for WordPress is really long and complicated, and I didn't store the email or the page from Quick Install. So I'm going to click Lost Your Password, and then I'll click Get New Password, and then we can go back over to our email, and WordPress will send us a new link, and we can click on the link, and great, then we can just type in a new password. So I'm going to do that, and we will reset the password. Now let's log in. Alright, now we're in business. So let's get some blog posts up on the blog. Close those tabs. We can visit the site again to see what it looks like. So to start publishing posts, we can go up here to New Posts or Posts over here. And I'm just going to go over here. And I like to delete the post that WordPress gives us. There's no point in keeping that. We can delete it permanently if we want. It's sitting in here right now. And I'm just going to click Add New. Alright, the first post that I recommend publishing is a welcome post, and that will tell people what they can gain from visiting your blog and what your plans are, and it will introduce you guys, meaning you and your audience. And it's just a really good idea because it clears the air and establishes a more personal bond than someone's going to find on another blog or a corporate website. So it really gives yourself a leg up. Alright, we need some text for our posts, so I'm just going to get some Lorem, no, you know what, I'll get some Coffee Ipsum. Basically just some dummy text so we can see how everything will look. Alright, and I'm going to generate, and then we can grab the text right here. It's kind of a cool mix of coffee jargon, and then I'll just paste that in right here. Okay, so now it's time to put in an image, and I'm going to put that in right here where the cursor is. So to do that, we can click Add Media, and then we already have some in our media library. So I'm going to select this one, and we can click Insert into Post. And before we do that, let's align it to the left. Alright, very cool. So we need a category for this post, and we'll see how that comes into play later, but let's just add one now, and I'm going to write in Group Trip, and then click Add New Category. Alright, so let's hit Publish and see what we got. So I have published, and I will refresh Naragai, and we can see we got a post here, but it doesn't have that nice image. It does have the text here. So to get that image in, we have to actually set a featured image. So we're going to be adding an image in sort of 2 times, and then once you select it, just click Set Featured Image. And I am also going to allow comments. I really like comments on the blog, and it really shows people that you know what you're doing. So we can pull down the screen options section and click comments, and then we get a new section that says comments. Alright, but we actually want discussion. So let's click discussion, and there it is. I'm gonna slide it up here, and we'll put it right at the top because it's really important. And I'm going to click allow comments and allow trackbacks and pingbacks, which basically are just notifications when someone mentions your blog with a link on their blog or website. So pretty cool. And I'm going to click update. And now we can see that new post is looking real great right here. We don't have a menu yet or an image slider, but that's all yet to come. Okay. So I'm going to do that one more time in case you missed anything, and let's just click add new, and we're going to call this one Mountains Overlooking Lesbos, and then let's do a control paste for our text and put an image in. So you can also look at everything in the HTML viewer. It's sort of a really bare-boned, cut and dry way of looking at the code, which can be helpful if you're a little more of an experienced WordPresser. I'm going to click add media and put in that family picture and then insert into post. Alright, and we also need to geez, someone keeps texting me. Okay, we also need to add the featured image right here. So I will set this one right there, and then I'm going to add a couple categories. I'm going to add scenic views, add new. And I'm gonna add friends and family. There we go. Just add those two. Cool. So you can't delete this one. It's just sort of a WordPress feature, but we obviously don't want to check uncategorized. And allow comments, allow trackbacks and pingbacks. So we can click publish, and that should do it. Alright, so now we have 2 posts and our blog's really coming together. Okay, cool. So I am going to speed things up now and add in all those posts. Don't want to, take up too much of your time, and I think we're getting the hang of things now, so let's just speed things up and get to it. Alright, now that we got our posts added in, we're going to want to set up that image slider to give our blog a little bit more style. So let's do that right now. To get the image slider in, we want to go to Appearance, Theme Options, that little sweet spot where we can design everything, and then we can go to Featured Post Slider, and then we can open up Slider Options, and here's where we control everything in the slider. So this box we're going to leave unchecked. I don't know what that one means, but we want to set the amount of slides, the number of slides, to 5. I think that's how many posts we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 posts. 6th one is this one, and I'm gonna not include this in the slider. And then right here is where we put in the featured post ID. So what that number is the number that you find if you're on a post, and if you click edit post, then we see the number right here in the URL link. So it's a little hard to find, but it's just this number, that post equals that. So I'm gonna copy that for 14 and put it in, and then we got to do that for all of our posts. So it just occurred to me that we also see the post ID right here, so you don't even need to open them up like I just did. Alright, now that we have our post IDs in, let's click save and let's see if we made a slider. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna visit the site, and we got something in there. Alright, so we got our slider in, but we see that it has this sort of pattern in the background, which I personally don't like. So to get rid of that, we can go back to our theme options and then we're going to disable the slider background effect. So fade just means how it transitions, which is okay, but you get a lot of other cool features built in to try out. And we'll keep everything else the same, and we can click save. Pretty cool. Alright, our slider's looking better. But it still doesn't fill up this whole box, so I'm still not really happy with it. And you can see that even some images, parts of it are cut off. So we want to make this thing look absolutely perfect. And in order to do that, we're going to have to call up our first plugin. Alright, so let's go back to the dashboard and let's install a plugin. So you might have heard the word plugin before. If you haven't, it's no big deal. I'll tell you what it is right now. A plugin is just something that extends the functionality of WordPress. So there's really no tool in WordPress at the moment to make this thing look perfect just by clicking, look perfect button or something. So we have to bring in a plugin to do that for us. And we can go to plugins, add new. And then I'm going to search for one called Post Thumbnail and click search plugins. And once we do that, this one comes up. And so there's a lot of plugins built by the WordPress community, which is humongous. It's all around the globe, and users will rate them based on if they work. And so we want a plugin that is either 5 stars or 4 stars or 4.5. And some plugins kind of stink. They they just have been outdated, or they've been improved on, and there's a better one out. But most of them are really good, and I already know this one works, so I'm just gonna click install now. Okay, and then we can activate the plugin. Alright, good stuff. So nothing will change immediately on the blog, but I'll show you what that plugin did. So if we open up a post and if we click edit post, we now get this neat little feature right below featured image that says post thumbnail editor. Just this little link right here. So now that we know where the thumbnail exists, let's make use of it. So we can click that, and then we get a whole array of image styles, so sizes, and we want to adjust the slider image. So we want to check this one, and we can also click that arrow if we want, and it just shows us what the current thumbnail looks like for the slider. But I want to change that obviously so it fits the whole section. So let's just click over the image right here, and I'm going to drag it. So the downside is we're going to lose a little of our image, but it's going to make it look really nice, and I think that looks good. So I'm going to hit crop, and the image even got a little bigger, which is really nice. So now we can just click this little save button, just click there, and that should do it. So let's X out, and then we can update, and now we can view the blog. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that for all the images right here, and then our slider should be looking in tip-top shape. Alright, as you can see, our slider images are now fitting nicely, so I think that's perfect, and we can move on. Now would be a good time to note that if you make changes to images, or you put a logo up and things aren't showing up on the site, that's often a problem with the cache. So the way that works is when you visit a site, like maybe you go and visit the HuffPost, the internet browser basically, when you visit it, it kind of stores information like the colors and the logos and the images, and it stores that, so when you click around the site, it actually loads a little quicker than when you first visited it. So that's how caching works. It's just a feature browsers have nowadays, depending on what you're using. I'm using Chrome, so it's generally pretty quick. But if you aren't seeing the changes you make, then it's a good thing to hit this little delete cache button. The newer versions of WordPress have this, so you can just delete cache, and that will just delete any sort of previous stored information like images or logos and give you the most current version. So obviously when you're updating a site, you want to see all your changes, and caching doesn't necessarily help. If that doesn't work, you could clear the whole browser cache, and that's usually in settings. Alright, I think now would be a good time to set up the menu. So let's head to our dashboard and get that taken care of. Alright, so we can click on Appearance and then Menus. And this is one of those things that took me a while to figure out at first when I started using WordPress. So let's clear the air and make a nice menu right here. So the first step is going to be to name it. I'm just going to call it Main Menu. And then we can use this little sandbox over here to move things around or delete them. And then whatever is in here will show up in our menu, which is going to be, like you know, right below our logo. So I'm going to start by deleting this sample menu item. We can just click remove, and then we can select the categories for our posts. So go over here and we can click select all, and then pretty easy, just click add to menu. And then they all populate in here, which is really cool. And so now we can just click create menu, and we can navigate back to the blog and refresh, and we see that nothing happened. So that's pretty weird. So let's go back here, and it looks like menu settings makes us choose the location. So our theme only has one location for a menu, but we still have to select it and click save menu again. And there we go. So we now have a navigation menu, and when someone clicks on something like scenic views, all the posts that are in that category of scenic views will show up. So Winter Wonderland, 2 posts so far, and you can see how that works. Categories are good for the navigation because that's just generally a good way of organizing a blog. You could have pages up here, or maybe your tags or something like that. And you can also even put individual links in. So if you wanted to link to, you know, google.com from the menu, you could do that and just do it just like you would a category and put it in there. And then if we refresh, we can see there's a custom item in there. I don't really know why you'd want to do that. It would take someone away from the blog, but just kind of a cool feature of our new menu. So I'm going to quickly make a page, an about page, which every blog should have. I'm going to go to new page. We can click on page. So let's call this about and throw in some dummy text, and then we will just publish the page. And then I'm going to make one more page, and I'm going to call it contact. Good to have a contact page. And just control paste and publish. Alright, now that you have a contact page on the blog, you might want to put in a contact form. So within WordPress, Contact Form 7 is a really good plugin I recommend. Or you could create a unique email address with your domain name on it. Like mine is just like such. So it's got whatever words in front and then your domain name right here instead of something like Gmail or Yahoo. So you can set that all up and let me know if you have any questions regarding that. So moving along with our design, you'll notice those pages don't show up in the menu. So that's odd. They're live for the world to see, but they're not really linked from anywhere. So to put them in the menu, we could go back to Dashboard, Menus, and then you'll see the 2 pages over here, and we can add them to the menu and then move them around just like we could move around anything else. And then we can set up a drop down by indenting one within the other. So let's make contact a sub item and save, and then let's see what happens. Alright, so there's the about page and contact page, and either one we can click through to reach the page. So that's pretty cool, and you now know how to make a custom WordPress menu. Alright, with that done, it's time to integrate social media in our sidebar because social media will be a big part of earning money online. Alright, the first thing we want to get is a Facebook like box. So we can just Google that, Facebook like box, and then I'll show you how to put it onto the blog. So grab this link, and then you just have to have a Facebook page up. So we won't go over that because that's really easy and free, of course. But you just type in your URL, and then Facebook automatically generates the new box. It's really nice of them to have this free feature. And you can play around like that. And that looks pretty good to me, but I want to set the width the same width as my sidebar, which is 310 pixels. Alright, cool. So now we can click Get Code. And so we don't have to code anything ourselves, we can just copy paste. Let's grab the iframe, copy that, and let's put that in our sidebar over on the blog. So we'll bring up another text widget. We can use as many as we want and just paste it in, and then I'm gonna click right up here for title and write like me. Actually, you know what, let's go with join me on Facebook. You might not think the copy matters, but studies show that the words you use really do matter. So I like join, and I'm gonna save it, and then I'll make this my top widget, just like that. So now if we visit the blog, we can see we have a cool Facebook widget right here that shows a few of the people that like my page, and we can like it or unlike it right here. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's get a Google Plus widget too. So that's actually called a Google Plus badge, and we can search for it like that. Google Plus is not as popular as Facebook, obviously, but it does have more of an expert niche feel to it. So it's a good idea to share your articles on there and meet people, and the more people that circle you, the better your chances are of ranking in search engines. So this is the options for the badge, the Google Plus badge, and this is pretty cool. I have this on one of my blogs, but I'm gonna try the let's see, gonna try the landscape view, and we're gonna go with dark, and 310 pixels should do it. And then once again, we'll just click here just like the Facebook and copy the code. And then we can jump back over to our blog, which is really coming together, and let's add a widget. So same as before, new text widget. We can add the widget and then paste the code just like that. No need to code anything. Looks like our theme makes this all capitalized in the title, so that should be great. And I'll pull it up here, and then let's check out the blog. Okay, cool. So just like someone can like us, now someone could circle us just by hovering over this little button and then choosing which group most appropriately fits. Okay, cool. What's next? So I think that does it for the blog design. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really like how our user experience is looking as far as the blog style and the layout. So why don't we jump into some Amazon Associates and set that up on the blog. Alright, so to get Amazon Associates program on our blog, on our new site, let's go check out the program. And that's cool. We can click this top link. And so you want to join it. It's free to join, and it lets you choose from any product on Amazon, whether it's seasonal or older or newer or electronics or gardening or finance or electronics. I already said that. You can recommend video games. You can recommend, even the smallest of products or the biggest products like an iMac, something like that. And you can earn a commission when someone clicks your link and then buys something. And the cool thing is Amazon has a 24-hour cookie, it's called. So that means that if someone clicks your link and then lands over on Amazon and they make a purchase within 24 hours, you get the commission. If it's 25 hours, you won't, but if it's within 24 hours, you'll get the commission. It's also called a referral rate. So right now, I would earn, what this means is 4% on a sale. And we can see I have a couple statistics in here, and one person has ordered an item through my link. So that's pretty cool. And if you recommend something small, like a book maybe on Amazon, and someone clicks your link and then decides they want to buy a television, you'll still earn 4% of the sale. So, that can really add up and turn into significant revenue. And if they buy the book, then that's great too. So to put this on our site, we want to click on links and banners. And, there's obviously a lot of options. I'm going to select a banner link. And then we can choose from a lot of options. There's Harry Potter products, and there's, sports and outdoors. It's pretty cool. And really have fun and play around here. I'm going to get one for apparel and accessories summer, just because it's good to recommend the current trends and the current season. The way the online shopping world works, people buy really quickly, and I just like recommending what's hot at the moment. So I'm going to go with this one, and to put it on our blog, it's a lot like an AdSense ad. Just click on this iframe, and then we can click highlight HTML and copy it. Then jump back to the blog, and let's go to widgets, and back to our favorite text widget. So you're probably getting the hang of these text widgets by now. And then we can just copy the code in there, and I'm going to title this one Shop on Amazon, and then I'm just going to click save. So now when we view the blog, we got this awesome Amazon ad in there with this pretty model and some nice copy, and it's really simple. And so when someone clicks on this, they'll actually go right to Amazon, kind of follow this link, and then someone can start shopping and get some shoes or a shirt or a watch or whatever they want for their baby or for their boys, you name it. You got 24 hours once someone clicks, and if they make a purchase, you will get that commission. And that's really awesome. So that's really cool that we can now recommend products on Amazon. And if we go back to our associates headquarters, we can actually just navigate over to Amazon, and now you'll see you get this new toolbar up here that helps you recommend products whenever you want. So that's really cool. One last thing with Amazon is you might actually not find the product you want to recommend in that little affiliate headquarters. So let's say you want to recommend something, really, really random, like, an iMac or something like that. That's something I'm thinking about buying right now. And maybe you really just want to recommend this Mac, this particular one. So I'll show you a little trick how to recommend any product you want on Amazon. Let's go back to the blog, and let's say we want to recommend a product in the salt chicken post. So I'm going to open up the post, and I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to write a little link text right here saying link to Amazon, and then you got to use this structure for the link. So this is a little trick that not too many people know about, and if you make a link that's this structure, then you can customize basically the recommendation to your affiliate program. So all you need to know to do this is your tracking ID right here. Mine's HoneCole20, so I can just put that right here, HoneCole20. And then the product that I want to recommend is this iMac, this Apple iMac for $12.79. And what we need is the ASIN number. So I'm going to just search on the page for ASIN to make it really easy. and then copy the ASIN. Alright, so then you want to come back to your post and put that right here, just paste it over that. Alright, so the link is actually all set up now, and I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna put that link on this text. So kind of a double tutorial. You are learning how to create a link and how to create an Amazon custom link at the same time. So just paste it in, and let's open this in a new window so someone stays on the blog while they're shopping, so our window doesn't close. And then just click update. Alright, cool. So now we can view post, and we see that Amazon link is in right here. And now when you click that, goes right to that iMac, and in the link you can see our tracking ID, so we would get credit for this sale if someone makes a purchase. So now you know how to set up a custom Amazon affiliate link and earn revenue recommending people to the web's largest retail store. Alright, cool. So make sure to post a question if you have any post a comment if you have any questions about that process. And now we want to put a email marketing form into our blog sidebar. So that's going to be really fun. And just a little bit about email marketing. It is really a difficult process, and it's not ever enough just to put a little subscription form in the sidebar. Because if you think about when you're on a blog, how often do you really want to subscribe to a blog? It's pretty rare, and it's only if you really get something, and if the design looks really good, and if you really admire what they're doing. So it's not easy to do, and some softwares look kind of sketchy or will send confusing confirmation emails, and that's all just going to lower your opt-in rates and your conversion rates. So there's a tool I use to get the job done, and it's called Aweber. And I like Aweber. I've used them to build email lists into the thousands now, and this is what they look like. And there are actually a lot of other services that offer the same functionality as Aweber, but I'd just go with them. They're also the ones that people I really respect on the web use, like a guy named ViperChill. He's an Australian blogger, and he uses Aweber for his email list. So this is his blog, and he's making $73,000 a year, and he uses Aweber. And ProBlogger, he uses Aweber for his email marketing needs, and he's also a really popular guy with over 300,000 readers. So the reason I know they use Aweber is, because I've been fortunate enough to have conversations with some of these people, but also because when you click on a blank subscribe form, it goes to an Aweber email marketing error form. So that's a little trick. If you ever want to know what someone's using for their email, you can just submit a blank form, and that might annoy them. They might get a blank email, but hey, it's a little insider info you can use to your advantage. So email subscribers are a really important part of a blog, and I think it's important to trust them to a good tool. So I'll show you how to set up Aweber right now, and we can have some fun with this. It is not a free tool, but that doesn't mean it's expensive either. Aweber costs $1 to try. So I'll give you a little link in the about section to Aweber, and that will be an affiliate link. So if you click through and sign up, then I earn a small commission for our efforts. But it's not a big deal or anything. Don't worry about that. Some people just like being told that. So alright, so let's test out Aweber right now. So here we see my Aweber dashboard, and I'm going to go to a new list. Actually, I'm going to go to a list for Dear Blogger. I'm going to navigate from the home page where we can see cool stats like my total subscribers and how many people subscribed yesterday and today. But right now I just want to go to sign up forms. Just click right there. So let's make a new subscribe form. Just click create a sign up form. And then once it loads, we can choose a template. So I'm gonna go to the popular templates. I'm actually gonna go to show more templates. And because we have a travel blog, I'm gonna get a travel theme. So we can load as many of them as we want, and you know, that one's kind of cool. I don't really know what the shapes are all about, but you know, maybe you want a New York City themed template, so that's pretty cool. Or a spa and resort template. You know, maybe you're talking about the best relaxation vacations. And you know, there's a lot of options, a lot of cool templates to customize to the theme of your blog. Different color options, stuff like that. You know, you can change the width, but the one we want is this one called Lucky Cat. So let's load Lucky Cat, and then just customize it up a little bit. So Lucky Cat looks pretty good as is, but I want to put some text in up here. So just click up in the top region and put join our newsletter. And then I'm going to click Shift Enter to get right below that text. I'm right, it's 100% free in parentheses. It's always good to remind people when something is free. And then you get this sort of Microsoft Word little text editor within your subscribe form. So, you know, we can make the font size a little smaller, and that looks pretty good. But I want to customize these input fields a little, and I'm just going to delete the label so the form is a little bit cleaner. And then down here we can write some clever text like name goes here, and then click save. And then we can do the same for email, and the value will be enter an email address. So you can really write whatever you want in there, and we can click save. We could even change the submit text like join here, or you know, something really simple like yes would be that could work. And you're gonna want to split test those small items once you get up and running to see what converts the best for you. This looks good for now, so I'll just save the form. And once we do that, we can click go to step 2 and then name the form, you know, whatever you want. Just call it Lucky Cat, and then save it. And then go to step 3 where we'll be installing our form. So I want to do it myself. I don't want to let the web designer do it or have Aweber do it. I'm just going to do it myself. So you can click this button, and then this little JavaScript opens up. So all you got to do is just copy this whole thing, and then back over on the blog we can paste it in just like we did with our Facebook box and our Google Plus box with a simple text widget. So same process. I'm just going to paste the code in, and we're not going to title this one because it already has a header within the form. And then I'm going to drag it up. I really like having my subscription box at the top because it's the first thing people see, and it shows people that I mean business. So I like having my important items really above the fold. That's what it's called, that little region in the top 50% of your blog. So let's check out the blog. And we can see the new form we made is nicely installed right here, and it looks pretty good. And now when someone pops in their name or their email, assuming you set up an account with Aweber, it will all work perfectly. So what happens when someone signs up is they'll get an email saying we'd like to confirm your subscription, and it just has a little link, and you can actually write whatever text you want in that confirmation email. So they'll click the link, and then you'll get an email saying someone new signed up, to your email list, and then their email will go into a secure database at Aweber, right over here, and then you can just proceed and keep collecting subscribers. So I like having multiple forms, as you can see, because some forms, like this homepage one, just perform better than the guide form right here. And go figure, the footer form is actually one of my best forms. I've had, over 600 people join in through that one. And you even get to see how many displays the form has, so how many times someone has viewed it on the web. And then this number is pretty important. It's the conversion rate. So like this form has a pretty ridiculously high conversion rate, whereas this one is also converting well, but it just stinks. It's only had 29 displays. So make a lot of forms, have fun, and I hope that little bit of designing and conversion advice will help with whatever email subscription software you choose. Alright, so let's move on. So I was actually going to put one more AdSense ad down here in our sidebar, but I kind of like how the last post aligns with the bottom ad. Everything's looking neat and symmetric, so I'm just going to leave it as that. And I want to say thanks a ton for watching me design this blog. I think it is pretty solid with user experience, and hopefully if you use this design too, it'll really work and get you comments and subscribers and ad clicks and conversions and traffic and page views and commissions and earnings and everything else that us bloggers really dream about in our blogging ventures. So speaking of traffic, as a bonus in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Google Analytics on this blog right now, so you can check your statistics as much as you want. So to do that, we obviously have to go to Google Analytics, and once we're here, we'll just open this up. And if you're creating analytics for your first time, it's all really easy. You just answer a few questions about your website, and then they will maybe inspect it. I'm not sure, but you basically get some new code. So we're actually going to create our analytics tracking code right now. So here we are in my analytics dashboard, and I'm going to set up a new account. So I'm going to go down here and just click create new account, and then name it. I'm going to call it Niraigai, and then the name is Start a Blog and Make Real Money. So I'm just going to walk you through setting up an analytics account right now. Just pop in the website URL, and then our industry is going to be travel, so I guess that would be right here. We have a travel blog, and then you just get your tracking ID. And so, like most Google products, you got to accept the terms of service, the TOS, and it was a success. So now Google kindly generates this custom tracking code, and the place most people get stuck at is they don't know where to put it, because no one really wants to do any coding. So I'll show you how to do that right now. You just copy it like we did our AdSense code or our Amazon code, and hop back over to the blog, and then you want to go to the I went to the wrong section. Yeah, this is the wrong section. So we want to go to the editor. So we can click on editor, and then this is kind of the code backend structure of the blog. So we're only going to make a really small change in the header.php, so we can click that. And then we want to paste the code in the head of the website. Okay, so that section is right here. It's the part that starts with head blah 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 and ends with this little closing head tag, it's called. Alright, so I'm just going to make some space right before this tag, enough space that we're not going to mess anything up, and I'm just going to Control V. And now, because our analytics code is in the head of the blog, it will track every single page and blog post and everything like that, and every time a user visits the page, it'll get tracked. So you want to have that code in the head, and then you want to click update file. And that's really cool. So we can go back to the blog and see that we didn't break anything. It's still here. But there's one more step before you can actually start looking at your statistics and your conversions and all your good numbers, and that is to verify the site. So the hard part's done, but you can't forget this part. So I'm going to look up how to verify a site on Google. And you get this bunch of stuff. I'm going to go to Google Webmaster Tools, and that should be the right section. So, you know, I got a bunch of sites in here, and we can add a site and then just get our domain name and pop it in. So just paste that in, and then we can click continue, and then we can verify it. So we got to choose the right method, and I want to do the alternative method of Google Analytics. So, you know, we already put the tracking code in the head section of the page, and we can edit, you know, all that. That's all fine. And so we're going to want to click verify now. Just click verify. And if it doesn't work, if you get this message, it just means you are doing it too soon and the code wasn't really visible to Google yet. So all you really have to do is come back here later, maybe in like, you know, half an hour, and then verify it again. And then you can go to your analytics and you can start looking at the reporting. So, you know, not tracking this one yet, but if we pulled up another account, you know, like maybe this one, then the reporting all looks, you know, a lot cooler. You get this roller coaster page views, and you get, you know, all sorts of nice numbers. So that's all really cool. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, then get outside. Jeez. Alright, totally kidding. So I wanted to take a couple moments now at the end to explain the 3 methods that we talked about to make real money with your blog. So the first one was AdSense. Now, if you want to use AdSense to make money on your blog, then my best advice is wait. Don't put ads up right away, because people don't like seeing ads on a new blog. They think you're just trying to sell out. Wait till you have at least 10,000 views per month and enough traffic that people will click your ads. Then try some different placements. Try out the sidebar, the header, and even in your blog post. Make sure to keep those ads above the fold, meaning 50% of your blog, that top 50%. If you want to do Amazon affiliates, then you got to pick products that are highly relevant to your blog. I wouldn't recommend soccer or volleyball, because I love tennis. Go check out Darren Rose's blog, Digital Photography Tips, to see how he lays everything out. Hire a designer so you can align your images, links, and prices in a consistent fashion. Lastly, if you want to go the email marketing route, then make sure not to pitch any ads or sales offers in your first emails. Start off with a welcoming note and give away a free gift like an ebook or some secret content on your blog. Then make sure to check out Smart Passive Income. Pat Flynn runs a great newsletter. And if you really want, I made a blueprint for you on how to make a living with email marketing. So check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, always take chances, believe in yourself, and make it happen.